Hello, I haven't had my haircut in 3 months and I'm starting to lose my shit! So 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons has very clear-cut rules. They're complicated and hard to understand, but they are very clear-cut, not necessarily clean. There's, 13 classes, 50 different races, and over 200 spells or something like that. And when you have that many spells, there comes a point where, some of them maybe don't have the same amount of quality assurance as each other. One spell in particular that I want to talk about is called Conjure Animals, and I shall read the description for you. I could use my manual that's just behind me, but no, I'm going to write on my phone. So, this spell allows the caster to, for 1 hour, summon 1 beast of challenge rating 2, 2 beasts of challenge rating 1, 4 beasts of challenge rating half, or 8 beasts at challenge rating a quarter. Now, that spell is regarded as pretty annoying to most dungeon masters, because if you were to summon 8 creatures, that would just make the game really slow. It would absolutely ruin combat and the flow of the game. So here's the story of how I abused that, but not for the reason I've just said. Now, it is worth mentioning what kind of animals you could summon with this kind of spell. So, if we look here, if you summoned 1 creature, challenge rating at 2, that's something like a giant constrictor snake or a hunter shark. If you summon 2 creatures at challenge rating 1, that's still like the fairly powerful lions or giant vultures. If you were to summon 4 creatures at half challenge rating, that's something like a black bear or a crocodile. And if you were to summon 8 creatures that have challenge rating quarter, then it's sort of more mundane things like a bear or an elk. But it's not so much the creatures that are scary, it's the sheer mass of them. Remember the word mass. Picture, if you will, the final area of the game. Half of us were taken as prisoners to a bandit camp while the other half was trying to break us out. But the big reason we were there is because we were trying to take down that bandit camp, including the leader. There were watchtowers all over the perimeter, 30 foot high. It was going to be a fairly difficult run. So in between sessions, my friend messaged me. We were both playing a druid and we both had access to the spell Conjure Animals. He looked through it and said, "Hey, this could absolutely ruin a game." And my friend's a bit of a dick, so he absolutely would ruin a game if he could. So he thought, yes, I'll summon 8 creatures, completely derail this game, and it's gonna be a fucking piece of shit. I said, don't do that. He said, why, because it would be a dick move? I said no, because I thought of something much more inventive you could do. Now, let me go into more detail of the wording of Conjure Animals. Like I said before, if you've got 200 plus spells, some of them are a bit loose in definitions. So, Conjure Animals has a range of 60 feet and lets you summon your chosen number of animals in an unoccupied space that you could see. Note that the unoccupied space does not specify it has to be on the ground. Now that's fair enough. If you want to summon a flying creature, you summon it 60 foot in the air and it flies off. But what if you summoned a creature that couldn't fly? Well, they would fall. What happens if you summoned 8 creatures that can't fly? They all fall. So, considering we had to take out these watchtowers, what do you think me and my friend's favourite method was? We, between us, summoned 8 fully grown cows, 60 foot into the air, just over those watchtowers. And, if you let me just run you through the calculations here, a cow weighs somewhere in the region of 1,000 to 1,800 pounds, or 600 to 1,200 kilograms. If you were to drop 8 times 1,000 pounds of prime Aberdeen Angus beef on top of someone with a height of 60 feet, accelerating at the speed of gravity, factoring in wind resistance, that would fucking hurt. We were at a high enough level for the resources to summon cows on pretty much every watchtower in the area, and we just blew past that area of the game, leading us into the final boss, the bandit leader of the camp. And it's such a shame that his tent was completely surrounded by cows. The bandit chief was huddled into a small circle, and, you know, this was the final boss. We needed some real flair. We couldn't just summon another 8 cows. I mean, we could, but we could do something a little more imaginative. So, while I could summon 8 weak monsters, I could also summon 1 strong monster. So, with a challenge rating 2, I looked through the list of beasts and found the heaviest one I could find. 2,200 kilograms of prime rhinoceros lands straight on the bandit leader's head, completely squishing him to a pulp. We completely ruined that final boss and that final session, but you know it was fucking funny, come on.